My child, if you feel like everything in your life is starting to fall apart, if you've been trying your hardest and still can't find peace, then this is not a coincidence. I'm calling you. I want you to know there is one thing, just one thing, that if you don't put it first, everything else will slowly collapse. Your family, your work, your dreams, even your own self. But I haven't come to make you afraid. I've come to rescue you from the spiral with no way out. Listen to me, just this once, so your life can begin again, the right way. My beloved child, I want you to pause for a few minutes. Set aside all the worries, all the noise inside your head, and let it be just me and you. Let your heart be still for a moment. Don't rush past these words as if they were just another message you've heard 1,000 times. I'm not speaking to the crowd. I'm speaking directly to you. Because today, there is something I need you to realize before everything falls apart and you don't even understand why. If you don't put me first, everything else in your life, even the good things, will slowly begin to lose their meaning. You could have a stable job, good income, and loved ones around you, but you'll still feel empty inside. You could build plans, dreams, and systems down to the finest detail, but when you stumble, you won't have a place to stand firm, and you'll find yourself wondering, why is it that I've done everything right, but I still feel so lost? And I will answer, because your priorities are out of order. The world won't tell you this. It teaches you to put yourself first, to go after what you want, to optimize everything, and then success will follow. But the world doesn't understand the deeper truth of the soul. It only teaches how to build material wealth, but leaves you spiritually bankrupt. Do you know that there are millions of people out there living according to that success plan? And yet, every night they cry alone, or numb themselves with addictions, shallow relationships, or endless distractions, all for one simple reason. Their spirit is disconnected from me. Human beings were created to have me at the center, not as an accessory, not as a backup option when everything else fails, but as the root, the starting point, the foundation. And if you remove me from that position, everything else will slowly go off balance, become distorted, and then collapse. Maybe you think you're strong. Maybe you've made it through a lot without praying much. But that doesn't mean you're okay. Sometimes you think you're succeeding, when in truth, you're just building a sandcastle by the edge of the waves. All it takes is one soft breeze, one unexpected turn, and everything will be swept away, and you'll have nothing to hold on to. That is why I'm calling you back. Not to punish, not to control, but to help you reset your focus. Because you deserve to live a life with true meaning, not just existing, but living with direction, peace, and a purpose that comes from heaven. You might say, Lord, I'm not ready to put you first. I have so much to take care of. I'm worried about the future, about my parents, my children, my life. But my child, it's exactly because you have so much to worry about that you need to put me first. When you make me your number one priority, everything else will be given at the right time. Do you remember what I said in Matthew 6 verse 33? Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. I didn't say that as an empty promise. I've proven it through thousands of generations. Look at Abraham. He put me above even his beloved son. And when he did that, I didn't just give Isaac back to him. I gave him a greater promise. Descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky and the sand on the shore. Or Daniel. In a culture filled with temptation, he still chose to keep me first, even when it meant facing the lion's den. And I shut the mouths of lions because of his faithfulness. Do you think I only act in Bible times? No. I still move today in the lives of those who dare to believe, to let go, and to put me first. Let me tell you about a man I love dearly. His name is Caleb. Caleb was a young businessman, full of talent, intelligence, and ambition. He grew up in a Christian home, but as soon as he stepped into the world, he started putting work above me. He told me, I'll serve God when I'm older. Right now I need to focus. And I quietly waited. Caleb rose quickly. His company grew. His status soared. Money poured in. But one day, his father passed away suddenly. He lost his direction. The big projects no longer meant anything. At night, his penthouse felt cold, despite the city lights glowing outside. In that darkness, he cried out, God, if you're still there, I'm sorry. I've gone too far. And I was there. I didn't say, it's too late. I said, you've come home. Caleb started over, not by quitting work but by resetting his priorities. He began praying every morning, joined a small group, gave his finances, not out of fear of losing blessings, but out of recognition that it all belongs to me. And you know what? His business grew in ways he never imagined. But this time, it wasn't about Caleb. It was about Christ in Caleb. That's what I want for you. I'm not asking you to give up everything. I'm just asking you to put things in the right order. If you're in love with someone, don't love them more than me. Without me in that relationship, even love will dry out and break. If you're chasing a dream, don't pursue it while forgetting me. Without me, that dream can become a burden instead of a joy. If you're building a family, don't forget to place me as the foundation. A house not built on the rock will not stand when the storms come. I've come to teach you what truly lasts, what endures, even when circumstances change. And that only happens when I am the first Lord in your heart. Don't be afraid that putting me first means you'll lose everything. In truth, that's the only way you'll keep everything, because what you place in my hands, I protect, but what you hold on to yourself will eventually slip away. Someone once asked me, how do I know if I've put you first? And I asked back, what do you prioritize first in your day? What takes up most of your thoughts? When you have to choose between me and something else, what do you choose? The answer lies there. My beloved child, if today you realize that you've pushed me to the back, don't beat yourself up. Just say to me, Lord, I want to start again. And I won't hesitate. I won't delay. I'll step in, like light flooding a room that only needed the smallest crack to enter. Because it's never too late to reset your priorities. But don't wait until everything falls apart to realize what you should have done all along. I love you. Not because you're perfect, but because you are mine. And I want to see you live fully, with meaning, with blessing, not just surviving, not just scrambling, not just striving. Put me first. And you will see the things you used to worry about will start falling into place. The things you used to beg for will come in perfect timing, and your heart will be truly satisfied. Not because you're good, but because you chose well. You chose me. My beloved child, there is something I see happening in the spirit of many of my children, including you. You are longing for miracles, but you're forgetting the very one who is the source of every miracle. You long for change. You pray for something to happen, something that will rescue you, turn the situation around, answer the questions you can't resolve. But listen to me. If you keep searching for what happens on the outside without returning to me, you will always feel empty. Even if the miracle comes, it will never be enough to satisfy your heart. You don't need many things from me. You need me. I know you've prayed so much. You've cried, you've longed, you've fasted, you've read the word, and you feel like the miracle still hasn't come. You start to wonder, maybe God isn't listening? You blame yourself. Maybe my faith isn't strong enough. You feel discouraged. But my child, let me tell you this with all the love of a father. I have never been silent. I've been waiting for you to seek me, not just what you want from me. Many come to me as if I were a treasure chest, seeking rewards. But I am not an ATM. I am the living water. And living water doesn't just give water. It is the source. You don't have to keep drawing buckets in fear. You just need to sit, to dwell, and let that stream flow through you. Do you know why I loved Mary? Because while everyone else was busy serving, preparing, handling things, she chose the most important thing, sitting at my feet. Martha was busy. Mary was still. And I said, Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her. My child, the things you're striving to achieve, sometimes they are the very things pulling you away from me. You want happiness, so you ask me for a beautiful relationship. You want peace, so you ask me to change your circumstances. You want to feel worthy, so you ask me to promote your career. But you don't realize, none of those things can bring true fulfillment if I'm not at the center. There was a woman I dearly love. She used to be a famous singer. She had millions of fans, everything the world admires, fame, beauty, wealth. But every night, when the stage lights went out, she sat alone in her luxury apartment and cried. She told me, Lord, I have everything, but I feel like I have nothing. And I whispered, because you have everything except me. And one day, she let it all go. She started again, not on stage but in a small room where there was candlelight and a Bible. She began to pray. No more glamour, no more applause, just her and me. And in that place, that's where the true miracle happened. Not because I gave her something, but because I was what she received. My dear one, if you have me, you already have enough. I don't promise you that every miracle you long for will happen the way you want, but I promise you this. If you have me, you will never lack what you truly need. Do you remember what I said in John 4:27? Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid. I don't give peace the way the world does. The world gives peace by changing your circumstances, but I give peace by transforming your heart. When your heart is steady in me, even in the storm, you'll remain standing. Even if nothing changes outside, you'll still see light on the inside. There was a man named Samuel. He was very upset with me. He said, Lord, I've been praying for 3 years. Why hasn't my illness been healed? I was silent, and he kept fighting. But one day he sat down. For the first time, he didn't ask for anything. He simply said, Lord, I just want to know you, whether I'm healed or not. And in that moment, his heart was healed. He told his friends, God didn't heal my body first. He healed my perspective first. From then on, he no longer lived in bitterness, but in peace. He became a light in the hospital where he was treated. People looked at him and asked, how can you still be joyful? And he answered, because I found the one who is the source of my life, not just the miracle I used to chase. My child, this is what I want you to understand today. Don't chase outcomes. Return to the one who creates them. Don't use me as a means. Let me be the goal of your life. Because when you come to me, not to receive something, but to simply be with me, you enter into a relationship that cannot be shaken, a life source that never runs dry. The world will keep telling you that you need more, but I tell you, you only need one thing, and that one thing is me. And when you begin your day, not with your phone or your job, but with a simple sentence, Lord, I just want to be near you today. You are opening the door for the real miracle to happen. My presence pouring into every space you walk into. You'll start to see even the smallest things become sacred. A cup of water will carry gratitude. A stranger's smile will be a sign from me. A door that seems closed will be protection. A delay will be a moment I'm training your patience. A rejection will be my way of preparing something better. And suddenly, life will no longer feel like a string of failures, but a journey led, step by step, by a kind Father. Miracles aren't always explosive. Sometimes the miracle is when you still stand, still forgive, still love, still stay faithful, still pray, even when nothing has changed yet. And when I see you do that, I say to the angels, that is my child in whom I am well pleased. Because what moves me the most is not the accomplishments you reach. It's the heart that refuses to let go of me, whether on the mountaintop or in the valley. So today I ask you one thing, not to rebuke you, but to invite you. Do you want the miracle, or do you want me? If you choose me, you will never lack what you truly need. And if you've lost your way, just come back. I am never far. Stop running, sit with me, stay close, because I am the greatest miracle you've ever been searching for. My beloved child, can you stop striving for a moment? I see you trying so hard to prove to me that you're okay. You want to show me that you've gotten better, that you're living right, that you're worthy of some kind of miracle. But my child, that's not what I need. I don't need you to prove anything. I don't need you to be perfect. I just need the truth. I don't sit high on a throne waiting to see if you're good enough, obedient enough, worthy enough. I don't measure you by your successes or failures. I see right into your heart, not to judge, but to heal. If today your heart is full of contradictions, I still love you. If today you feel weak, tired, or crushed, I don't turn away. On the contrary, that's exactly when I come closer than ever. Because I didn't come to call the righteous, I came to call those in need. Not to seek the healthy, but to heal the sick. You don't have to dry your tears before coming to me. Come while the tears are still falling. Come while you're still confused. Come even when you don't understand where your life is going. You know, so many people think, God will only accept me when I'm living right. But that's a distortion of the truth. It's because you're not living right that I came. It's because you can't save yourself that I went to the cross. When I chose to step into this world, I didn't come to dwell with the morally perfect. I sat and ate with tax collectors. I drew near to the woman caught in adultery. I touched the leper that society avoided. And I said to them, not change and then I'll love you, but I love you, and that love will transform you. True love doesn't begin after change, it creates change. I remember a man named Jacob. His whole life he schemed, lied, and fought for advantage. But one night he wrestled with an angel, and in the end he had nothing left but exhaustion. He held on to the angel and said, I won't let go unless you bless me. In that moment, when he had nothing left to prove, just raw honesty, he was given a new name. From Jacob, the deceiver, to Israel, the one who overcomes. You will never win by pretending to be strong. You begin to win the moment you dare to be honest with me. There was a woman I deeply love. She had struggled with addiction. Her life was full of poor choices. She carried many wounds from childhood, rejection and cruel words. She had tried to return to me many times, but every failure made her feel more ashamed. She told me, Lord, I'm not worthy to come close to you. I'm too dirty. And I embraced her, not with rebuke, but with the warmth of my presence. She no longer heard the voice of accusation in her mind, but instead, a tender whisper from me. I have never stopped loving you. You don't need to be clean to come to me. Let me be the one who cleanses you. From that day on, she never returned to her old path. Not because of fear, but because she knew she was loved in the midst of her brokenness. Amen. And that love was stronger than any chain. My child, if you keep waiting until you're better to come near me, you'll stay far from me forever. Because what I want from you is not a moral report card. I want a heart that dares to say, Lord, here I am, with all the chaos, the questions, the unhealed places. If you still want me, here I am. And I will say, I have never stopped wanting you. I chose you, knowing every secret you've never told anyone. Do you remember the story of the prodigal son? When he decided to return home to his father, he didn't wait until he had saved enough or fixed his life. He came home still smelling like a pig bin. He came home still doubting, still ashamed. But the father didn't wait for explanations. He ran to his son, hugged him, kissed him again and again and said, bring the best robe for my son, put a ring on his finger, shoes on his feet. That's me, child. That's who I am every time you dare to come home. I don't say, explain why you failed. I only say you're home, and that's enough. I don't need you to repaint your life in perfect colors. I just need you to hand me your raw canvas, even if it's torn, messy, or unfinished. I will turn it into a masterpiece, not because you're talented, but because I am the restorer. You are not broken beyond repair, you're just thirsty. And I am the living water. You are not useless, you're just drained. And I am your source of strength. You're not too late. You just need one step, and I will walk the rest with you. If you don't believe me, look at Peter. He denied me not once, but 3 times. But when I rose again, I didn't ask, why did you fail me? I only asked, do you love me? 3 times to undo the 3 denials. And then I entrusted him with my flock. Do you see? Your failure never changed my plan. As long as you are honest, real with me, you are still in my hands. Not disqualified, not forgotten. The world will say, you must be perfect to be accepted. But I say you must be real to be healed. You don't have to pretend to be strong anymore. You can breathe out and say, Lord, I need you. And that will be the beginning of the miracle. Because when you come to me with a true heart, with no walls, no hiding, I will pour into you more than you've ever imagined. Not through talent, but through transformation. Not through accomplishments, but through my presence. Not through flashy victories, but through small, faithful steps. And day by day, step by step, crack by crack, you will be healed. Not quickly, not loudly, but deeply and truly. Because I'm not in a hurry. I'm not discouraged. I never give up. And I never get tired of seeing you knee one more time. My beloved child, remember, I don't need perfection. I need the truth. And if you give me that, I will take care of the rest. My beloved child, sit down for a moment so I can whisper to your heart, not to frighten you, but to help you see what you've never dared to admit. Not because I want you to feel guilty, but because I want you to be free. Free from the pressure, from misplaced priorities, from the exhausting cycle you don't even know how you got trapped in. So let me ask you a simple question that could change the entire direction of your life. What are you placing above me? Don't rush to answer. Let that question sink in, not to test you, but to free you. Not to condemn, but to illuminate. Because if you truly examine your life, you'll realize that certain things, even good things, even noble things, have gradually taken my place. Maybe it's work. Maybe it's someone you love. Maybe it's worries, plans, dreams, fears, or even the way you view yourself. And you don't realize, once I am no longer first, everything else begins to lose balance. You don't have to give those things up. I didn't come to take away what's precious to you, but I came to reorder things correctly. Because when I am not first, everything else falls into the wrong place. Remember what I said. No one can serve two masters. You can't chase after the world while trying to stay connected to me. You can't place your hope in money, status, or people and still expect your heart to be at peace with me. You'll be torn inside. One part will pull toward me, the other toward things that fade. And then you'll grow tired, confused. You'll drift away from me without even realizing why. It's because you've lost your anchor, the place where everything begins. I am the vine. If you're not connected to the vine, you cannot bear fruit. You may do many things, achieve many successes, build an entire kingdom, but if I'm not your foundation, it will all eventually collapse. Look at me during my time on earth. Even as the Son of God, I always began my day with the Father. Every early morning, every night before making decisions. Not because I needed a plan, but because I needed connection. And if I, the sinless one, needed to put the Father first, how can you, facing all the trials of this world, live without doing the same? There was a woman named Hannah. She loved her daughter with all her heart. Every day she prayed for her child, worked hard to secure her future. But in her devotion, she slowly forgot me. She stopped praying for herself, stopped reading my word, stopped sitting quietly to hear my voice. All her strength went into her child. Then one day, her daughter rebelled. Hannah broke. She knelt down and cried, "Lord, I did everything I could. Why is this still happening?" And I whispered to her heart, "You've loved your daughter so much that you pushed me out of first place. And without me, even your love isn't enough. Do you see? Even something good, when placed in the wrong position, can lead to collapse. I don't blame you. I know you're doing it all out of love, responsibility, wanting everything to go right, but you're holding it all alone. And no one can hold everything together without putting me as the pillar. You're trying to be the engine that keeps everything running. But I didn't design you to be the pillar. I made you to lean on me, the one who holds all things. Remember what I said in Matthew 6:33, "Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you." Not afterward, not when it's convenient, not when life slows down, but first. I didn't say that because I'm selfish. I said it because I love you. Because I know if you don't start with me, you start from instability. And if you start from instability, you'll build a life that's easy to collapse. I've seen so many people who truly love me, but still let other things creep in. And slowly they drift from me, not on purpose, but because their priorities shifted. There was a young man named Nathan. He once burned with passion for me. He spent time in prayer, served faithfully, sang in worship. But when his career began to take off, the time he gave me began to fade. He didn't walk away from me, but I was no longer first, and his heart slowly grew cold. He still went to church, still spoke the right words, but the fire was gone. The life in his spirit was drying up, until one day he collapsed under pressure. And in that moment he cried, "I miss the God I used to know. I want to come back." And I welcomed him, not with rebuke, but with an embrace that had no conditions. That's how I always am, always waiting for you to come home. And so I ask you today, have you placed me first, not just with your words, but with your actions? When you begin your day, what do you reach for first? When you face a crisis, how do you respond? When you make big decisions, do you consult me or just rely on logic? These questions aren't meant to condemn. They're mirrors, meant to help you see where your heart truly rests. You don't have to give up everything to follow me, but you need to reset your focus. I need to be at the center, not the edge. The source, not the backup plan. When I'm at the center, you'll find that you no longer feel the need to control everything. You no longer fear losing what you love. You no longer feel the pressure to prove your worth, and you're no longer exhausted by the little things. Because I am the rock. I am the light. I am your breath. And when I am first, everything else will be added at the right time, in the right way, to the right heart. Trust me, I'm not here to take things from you. I just want to help you hold on to what you can't carry on your own. So today, my child, if your heart feels far from me, if you sense that your priorities have shifted, don't be afraid. Just come back. Just one small sentence. Lord, I want you to be first again. And I will answer, I never left. I was just waiting for you to open the door. I don't need you to be impressive. I need you to be honest. I don't need your strength. I just need you to let go. Because when you put me first, you'll find that your life is no longer a chaotic battle, but a steady flow, ordered, meaningful, guided by heaven. Reset your focus, let me lead, you'll never regret it. My beloved child, I know that the busyness of life has caused you to put many things before me, and little by little, your heart has fallen into chaos. But today, all it takes is one small decision. Lord, I choose to put you first, and everything else will begin to fall into place. Don't wait until everything falls apart to return. Don't wait until you're exhausted and completely drained to come looking for me. I am here, closer than you think, ready to take your hand, to lead you out of the maze and into a life that is whole. You just need to let go of what you've been trying so hard to hold on to, and let me hold you instead.